What's up, guys? It's JVD, and I'm gonna make this quick video called my personal top 10 favorite superheroes of both DC and Marvel. So let's just jump right into it. There's no really qualifications. If they're a superhero, not a villain, then they can be on this list. So number 10, personally, is Black Widow. I like Black Widow a lot, especially in the movies. I hope they give her a solo movie so they can expand her character, give her a little bit more combat. I think she can be really good in fighting scenes when Scarlett Johansson's not pregnant, that is. Yeah, I just really like this character overall. I really hope this character gets more screen time in the next Marvel movies, just to expand her storyline, expand what she can really do, show her leadership abilities, show her fighting abilities, just overall show all of her abilities in general. Let's move on now. Number 9, The Incredible Hulk. I was gonna put him a lot higher on this list, then I realized how many superheroes there are. So the Incredible Hulk is literally a beast. He can tear through anything, and he's amazing. He's just, I love him in the movies. I hope they play out the thing where he went into space on the rocket at the end of Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron. I honestly hope they play that out well. Because if they don't, they can mess that up, and they can mess their entire movie string up if they mess that up really bad. And I really don't hope that for them. I really hope that they can play that out well. Maybe not make a Planet Hulk movie. Maybe make a movie called Planet Hulk where he's going to fight Thanos, and then that's the reason Thanos comes down to Earth is because he follows Hulk there. I think that'd be a pretty interesting storyline they could dig into. And then number 8, Captain America. I like Captain America. He's really cool. He's the super soldier, amazingly strong, amazingly fast. Got the invincible shield. He's just a great superhero. He can do pretty much anything. And I like his movies a lot. His movies might be the best solo movies. He plays a big part in the Avengers. He's like the leader of the Avengers in the movies and in the comics. But I heard that Chris Evans is only under contract for one more movie, and he's not going to renew it. So I think what they should, because there's going to be 2 parts to the new Avengers, Infinity War. I think what they should do is Captain America somehow get the Infinity Gauntlet at the end of Infinity War Part 1, and he uses it on Thanos to try and hurt him. But he ends up dying because it's like the ultimate sacrifice that Captain America has to make to try and save the universe. But it doesn't work, and Thanos stays alive. But Captain America dies. I think that storyline will play out very, very well if they do it right. Now, number 7 is Batman. He's like the second superhero I ever heard of when I was young. And I know a lot of people don't like him because people say he's not a superhero. Well, he knows like 1,000 forms of martial arts. He can fight anyone. He's 10 steps ahead of everyone in battle. He can invent things insanely well. He can make any gadget you can think of. And his vehicles are amazing. And especially Batman's villains. His villains are so cool. Bane, Joker, the Riddler, Mr. Freeze, the Penguin. His villains might be the best villains of any superhero. I just like Batman a lot. I hope Ben Affleck plays him well. I really do. Because if he doesn't, then that's going to mess up the whole DC trying to catch up to Marvel thing. It's going to mess up that angle so much if he doesn't. And I really want to see him do well. I really want to see him fight martial arts. No heavy armor. Just like normal kind of suit. Beating the shit out of criminals. I want to see what he can do against like a gang of 15 normal guys. Without gadgets. Just straight up beating the crap out of him with his hands and feet. I want to see that happen. So, number 6 on my list is going to be Spider-Man. Spider-Man is... I had a really close race between number 6 and number 5, who you're going to find out in a little bit. And Spider-Man edged out who's going to be number 5. Number 5 edged out Spider-Man because they haven't developed him much in the movies. Like... they developed him so much in the comics, and I loved his comics so much. He probably is the best comics out there, to be honest. My favorite comic is a Spider-Man comic, Spider-Man Fighting S.H.I.E.L.D., and it's great. But he was so good in Civil War. I liked him so much when he was in the suit, when he was fighting. But they need to develop him more as a human. In the comics, he was great as a human, too. He wasn't just the Amazing Spider-Man. He was Peter Parker. And they had him play that double role so good in the comics. They developed it so well. It was just great how they did it, and his powers are of course amazing. He could rival Batman for having the best villains. The Lizard, Dr. Octopus, all those guys, Dr. Doom. And he's just great. He's a great superhero. He has great stories in the comics. And let's move on. Number 5, the one who edged out Spider-Man, Wolverine. I love Wolverine so much. It was so hard keeping him out of the top 4, but these top 4 guys barely got him, especially number 4. There was a huge debate between switching him and number 4 to get Wolverine to the top 4, but he's staying out of there for now. That might change with the future. Was Apocalypse the last X-Men movie? I'm not sure. If you guys know, put that in the comments below. I don't know. Was X-Men Apocalypse the last X-Men movie? But Hugh Jackman said he wants to be the movies in the Avengers. I hope he does, because that would be great. They could make him so good. He fights so well. He's a savage. In the comics, they made him no holding back. Just he's a straight up savage monster, ripping the crap out of people, stabbing people through walls with his claws. When I was little, I would just tape things to I get this little circle bar and tape metal spoons and stuff to it and put it in between my hands and say, I'm Wolverine, and start hitting stuff with my claw that I made. Because I liked Wolverine so much. He's so cool. And every suit he wears, he looks badass in. And he's just so cool. I like him so much. He's a monster. He's an absolute beast. And X-Men Origins Wolverine, I like that movie a lot. I like the fighting scenes especially, except for the person who's number 3 on this list was portrayed very badly in this movie, in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now you probably know who that person is now that I said that, but I'll get to that. For now, let's get to number 4, Superman. He's the superhero. He's the first superhero to ever be born. Basically, he's just amazing. He has basically every power, because back then when they were making up superheroes, they didn't just focus on one power. So Superman, they basically said, okay, hey guys, we're gonna make a superhero comic. What's a superhero? It's a guy that has a ton of cool powers and he can do cool stuff. What was this guy gonna be called? He's a guy, but he's a superhero. Superman. Yeah. What are his powers gonna be? Everything. Give him everything. Give him super strength. He can fly. Ice breath, laser eyes. Give him everything. He's invincible. He can't die. Just give him everything. That's basically how I think the creation process for Superman went down in DC Studios when he was first made. And Man of Steel, I don't think he got portrayed well in that movie. I mean, he was a monster, but I really want to see the dark side of Superman come out. I want to see him pushed to his limits, and all the Justice League gets the shit beaten out of them, and I want to see Superman pushed all the way to his limits, to his breaking point, to the point where he goes loose, to the point where he just dominates people and just beats the utter crap out of everyone he faces. I really want to see that happen. Now let's dig into the top 3. And number 3 is Deadpool. I'm counting Deadpool on this list because he's close enough to a superhero. I'm not going to put him on the villains list if I make that. Deadpool. There's no other way to describe it. His latest movie was great. Ryan Reynolds was so good. That movie was just so amazing. There's no other way to describe it. That movie was great, amazing. He got portrayed so well. And Deadpool's just out there. He's technically a ripoff of Deathstroke. But you know what? I don't care, because he's a badass who eats Mexican food, and that's what I'm about to do. I'm a badass. My dad's bringing home Mexican food right now. I'm Deadpool, guys. No. He's just great, though. He's invincible, pretty much, except for one sword that he owns. He has every weapon you can think of. He's just amazing, and he's so funny about it, too. He's not one of those dead serious superheroes who's invincible. That's boring. I'm sorry, but that's boring. Deadpool is one of the greatest superheroes of all time. Honestly, the only reason that he's not number 1 is because I didn't learn about him early enough to get attached to this character. Anyway, he's just a great superhero in general. Let's move on to number 2. This number 2, is Iron Man, the amazing, invincible Iron Man. Now, Iron Man was my favorite superhero for such a long time, up until I was about 10 or 11, really. No, yeah, Iron Man was by far my favorite superhero until I was 11 or 12. Iron Man, he appealed to me so much because when I was little, I'm like this since I was 1 till like right now, I'm 14. I just want to build things. I just want to build cool things that do cool things and help people and just make me look cool. I just want to be like Iron Man pretty much. Like when I first saw Iron Man, I read a comic of him and I saw him in the Superhero Squad TV show and I saw his animated cartoons. I was like, I want to be Iron Man. I want to be just like Iron Man. I want to build metal suits and fly around in the sky and shoot bad guys. I just thought that was so cool and I love it so much. And when I got like to age 7 or 8, where I really started getting, like my brain started to develop, when I got to get smart, was that was the time where I started to get really smart, and I would attach to certain things and dig into those things. That's what I did with Iron Man. I got like 3 huge thick books of Iron Man, just reading him, his comics, his other stuff, and he's just amazing. All the different suits, and his movies are so good. He would probably beat out Captain America in solo movies. A lot of people don't like the second Iron Man movie. I don't know why, because I honestly do. I like the second Iron Man movie. It was cool. Whiplash was kind of cool as the villain. I don't think they gave enough time into Whiplash, though. Jesus, this video is probably almost at 12 minutes right now. Anyway, this video is going to take a while to upload, most likely, but who cares? You guys will see it. Anyway, Iron Man, I like him so much. He still appeals to me so much. And every movie he's in, I like it so much. He makes everything so much better. Not Tony Stark, Jesus, Robert Downey Jr. is so good as Iron Man. He's perfect for it. Like, he is Iron Man now. He's not that guy from Weird Science. He's Iron Man. That's who people know him as. He's a household name because he's Iron Man and because he's Iron Man so well. And that's all I gotta say about Iron Man. Now I'm gonna move on to my number 1, who's Thor. I love Thor so much. He took over Iron Man's spot when I was 11 or 12 because of the fact that I knew about him before, and I kind of bonded with him. He was probably my 2nd or 3rd, and I liked him a lot. And then I really started to dig into his story when I first saw the first Thor movie. I first saw the first Thor movie because all my friends kept telling me I looked like Thor, because back then my hair was really long. It was like down on my shoulders. It's like, hey, you look like Thor. Oh, what's a Thor? He's a superhero. Okay. So I watched his movie, and that was not right around the time the second Thor movie was coming out. It was right around the time the Avengers was coming out. Fun fact, I'm so into Marvel and so into superhero movies, but the first Avengers, was the first superhero movie I actually ever saw, and then I dug into the other stuff. And when I saw Thor in the Avengers, I was like, holy shit, he's so cool. He can't die unless it's by another god. His hammer can shoot fucking lightning at anything. His hammer comes back to him even when it's in Asia and he's in California and his hammer's in Africa. He can bring it to him. He can bring different dimensions and he can bring his hammer to him. He's just so cool. He's a monster. He's huge. And Chris Hemsworth plays him so well. Chris Hemsworth is just so good at that. Where he's Thor. Just like there's no other way to describe Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man and Chris Hemsworth is Thor. He's perfectly Thor. He's massive, he's blonde, and he's got that same charisma that Thor has. He's got that same wow factor. He's just got that same punch. He's just surprising. He's acting all calm, and then he's starting to get a little heated. Then he'll be calm. Boom, you're dead because you got hit with a hammer. And Loki was another reason I liked Thor so much, because their feud, they had such good chemistry between them. Bad chemistry, really. And the second Thor movie, I don't understand why people don't like that. I love that movie so much. I love the second Thor movie. I love Thor. Okay, I'm actually gonna wrap this video up because this is starting to get probably my longest video if I keep rambling on about how much I love Thor. I love all of these superheroes, just not equally. Actually, I'm gonna sound really pathetic right now. If this video gets 3 likes, then I'll make a top 10 of my favorite super villains. And that is gonna be interesting because, just so you know, I've liked the villains my entire life. When I first saw Star Wars, Darth Vader's still my guy. I love Darth Vader. Okay, I'm gonna save that for another video. Yeah, if we can get this video to 3 likes, I'll make a top 10 favorite super villains. I don't know when that'll be coming out. I'm filming this on the 7th of September. I don't know when this will come out. But yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap it up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.